Dispelling myths on surrender. We keep hearing that we should surrender, that our lives will be better if we just surrender. To surrender to the flow, to surrender to someone else, to something else, to some paradigm, to some it is what it is. Yet what does it mean to surrender? We simply are told, surrender to someone else, to something else. When we're taught or told, or it is suggested for us, surrender to the flow. Surrender to the flow means toss yourself into the river. Let the river take you, throw you all over the place, don't do anything, and then you'll be in flow. You give your power away that way, to surrender to the flow. The flow can be the flow of life, the flow of the groupthink, the group, the instruction from above, the most people, the paradigm, what we believe others tell us to believe, and all sorts of relateds in all forms. Nowhere here does that relate to the inner flow, to the inner surrendering. Surrendering means quit. Surrender to the flow. Surrender means quit. It doesn't mean what we're led to believe it is. Resistance is something very different. Resistance is to not block, but after we use critical thinking, our judgment, and stop resisting, change, or old ways, shedding old ways, or something else. Something that would be beneficial. Because even sometimes resisting some external imposition or change, that isn't bad at all. Use the inner discernment. That should be the litmus test. Is this right for me? But a right for me based on choice, unencumbered and uninfluenced by any other, as there is no other exact same in the world. No other self, even your identical twin, is at most similar to you if you have an identical twin. This applies the same in nature: a tree, a leaf, a cloud, a cat, a dog, a rock. No two exact sames. That means it is up to you. What is right for you? And use your discernment based on that. So anytime everybody comes and said, surrender to, fill in the blank, ask yourself, what does that really mean? What does it really mean for me? And what am I surrendering to? And what am I surrendering? Ask yourself, am I surrendering some unhelpful resistance? Or am I surrendering to some pressure, some influence imposed externally, some paradigm, some word, and in a form that when you as an individual are tired of something, can't bear the pressure anymore, so you just give in. That surrender does not have to be. It isn't the right one. And tossing yourself into the river, where the river takes charge, takes your power, your sovereignty, and you just do nothing. You lay there as the river takes whoever it takes you or wishes to take you. That river can take you wherever, and you do nothing to steer the course on said proverbial river. You do not swim. You do not see that you are not battered about. You take no stand in your equity. If you take the pure form of surrender as it is presented in current days. Known and unknown, there are reasons for that. Things are not thought through. Things are not thought. The deeper meanings aren't thought. Sometimes those purposes are nefarious, but not always. So when it comes to surrender, choose and discern. And what does it mean for you in a particular circumstance in your life? Sometimes you want to compromise, not be so rigid. At other times, you just want to hold your power, be firm, and say no. And you stand in your power and you do not surrender. Food for thought and consideration, and time to dispel old myths that have been with us sometimes for centuries and millennia, in how we view things, how we see things, and how we go about our lives, and to take our sovereignty back, our power, and decide what surrender means, its context and its meaning, and every day, in every aspect of life, as we go through life, day by day. Blessings and farewell.